Thank you all for coming. I'm Grace Kruniken, General Manager at BART. It's a tough time for us. We came here this weekend to get a deal. We thought we would have one by now. We're disappointed that the unions have walked out tonight. Yesterday we put an offer across the table that was fair. It was fair for the writers, it was fair for the unions, it was fair for the long-term future of BART. And regrettably, the unions did not accept that offer. The specifics of the offer were a 10% wage increase. We were asking a 4% contribution to their pension plan, and we had a medical plan that was very close to the $92, but was a reasonable shift and a reduction in the cost to the district, so we were able to just ask a little bit more for that and get a savings to the district. So that offer was rejected, and we were going to return back to the cooling off that the governor has offered. We thank the governor for his work. We thank the mediators for their work. We thank the union for the effort they put in, but we have a distance to cross. In the end, we were very far apart. Our offer was about a 10% offer, and the union's offer was about a 25% offer, roughly for the same period of time. So we were too far apart to reach a deal tonight. Any questions?
So what do you anticipate during the cooling off period? I mean, do you cool off for 2 weeks or a week, or do you try to schedule something sooner? Or?
I think everyone could use a couple nights good sleep, but what we're going to do is reassess where we are. We'll be talking with the unions more, and the schedule is actually set by the mediator, and we'll be continuing to work with the mediator to find a good solution here.
So as of tonight, no word on when they start up again?
No word, and I think you should let us have a couple of days to reassess where we are before it'd be smart for us to pick it up. We have the 60 days. No one's going to wait 59 days and then come to the table. We're going to get started right away, but we just need, the cooling off is called a cooling off for a reason.
So why give this offer on the last day of these negotiations if they've been going on for so long? Why do this at 10 o'clock last night?
That's the nature of negotiations as you go back and forth, and our offers up to this point haven't been good enough. We gave a better offer, but we feel we're at the end of our rope in terms of what's going to work for the system and for the writers and for the unions. Anything over here? Another question,
employees
please.
the employees are pretty upset. That's no secret. Is there any indication, sort of a wildcat strike? I mean, are the phones ringing in sick, or is there anything that suggests sort of shenanigans here?
I think everyone's disappointed that we haven't reached agreement. The unions, ourselves, the board, we're all trying to get there. So we haven't heard of any shenanigans. During a cooling off period, the unions are not supposed to strike and we're not supposed to impose, and that gives us a chance to do just that, cool off. So, please.
I'm kind of curious. One of the things that we keep hearing is, security, employee security, and they kind of outline some of those things, basic things like, bathrooms being open to be able to use. What's the position on some of that? Some of those things sound sensible. Why not respond to some of those concerns?
Safety is an issue that we start with. We're a transit agency. It's safety first with us. So we have many improvements in our budget. We have $40 million worth of safety improvements in our budget this year, for example. The bathrooms, the employees have access to bathrooms. It's the customers that don't, and we understand that. We'll be reviewing that policy periodically, but the real issues at the table were money issues. The real differences were money issues. We have plenty of safety initiatives at BART to begin with, and we were listening to what the unions asked for. They asked for additional station agents, for example, for opening and closing. We granted 18 agents that we shifted to that opening and closing, so there'd be 2 people at 18 critical stations. In addition to, I believe there's 6 that we already have, at least 2 station agents in every station for the high traffic station. So I think in the end it was an issue of money, and we had to do what was reasonable. The whole plan that the board set forth was to make sure we had enough money to make a fair offer to our employees, and we had the long-term sustainability of BART in mind. This system is 40 years old, and the investment that the board had cordoned off to make sure that the tracks were in order, that the trains were replaced, that the train control system was replaced, that plan needs to continue or we will not have a BART system in the future. It will be so unreliable that people won't want to ride it. Fare collection will go down. The condition of the system will continue to deteriorate. So we have to walk a tough issue here, and I think a 10% wage is more than fair to our employees. So I think we had a good confidence level in the offer that we made. It's just regrettable that they chose not to accept it.
Last week, you had talked about there is a fare increase that's coming, and that's in part to help pay for some of the new trains and some of the other things. Any more than this 10% increase, would that have translated to another fare increase?
Just fare increase is one option. What we probably would have done is taken to the board the decision to how to invest, and we would have to disinvest in the system anymore. I think 10% is a fair increase, and the system does need the investment as well. And we've heard from everyone on the street to my dentist who said, hold the line. And in this agreement over the last couple of days, we went beyond the 8.5% we had offered. We offered up to 10%. So we thought we'd stretched a fair amount. We'd increased our offer in many ways over the last week, 70% with all the components involved, and the unions had stretched about 5%. And we just weren't getting the back and forth that we needed to make a deal, and we felt that we needed to hold the line at one point. One more question.
Well, you said that you heard from everybody on the street, hold the line. Are you saying that the public is solidly behind BART management and not behind the employees?
My job is to work with the union, to work with the board, to work with the public to find a fair package. And we've seen polls that show that, they wanted us to hold the line. The intricacies of something this complicated have to do with a lot of different things. So in the most part, we're holding the line, and we are trying to find compromise. That's why, we offered a new package up, and I'm just sorry that it wasn't accepted, because I do believe it was a fair package for the union, for the riders, and for BART's long-term investment in the sustainability. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.